Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL Jedi Show. This is the new stream of season 25-26. The FPL is officially live today. My name is Hafiz and I would like to welcome my co-host Azmin to the stream. How are you? How excited after FPL is live today?
I'm I realized I thought I was gonna be chill about it. Then I realized that in the end I felt really excited when there were rumors that were coming out today. But at the same time, there were a lot of theories going on as to whether they would when they would launch the game. And if you remember last season and the season before, they would release player prices of at um uh, five players for each team. Not necessarily in just one tweet, but maybe not necessarily in five separate tweets, but maybe in one tweet, for example, like what they did for Leicester last season. So I thought so. The argument was that they need to do that. They're gonna do that first to build up the suspense.
Okay.
And I had this argument with someone said, "What suspense?" Because at the end of the day, your suspense is when you are end up getting surprised by the prices. For example, like Chris Wood's priced at 10 million, for example, or Gabriel priced at 4.5 million. So I felt that was a valid reason uh, to build it up. So and what I thought would happen was that because the two big guns, Haaland and Salah, were the last two price reveals before the game was launched. Yeah, so I thought surely they're gonna launch it. So I thought I'm gonna check in every hour, every hour. But in the end, but FPL still beat me to it because instead of releasing it on the hour, they released it at like 7:30 Malaysian time. So
Hmm.
I was slightly late, but I was still lepas solat I had to check.
Yep. Great thing because I'm a bit late. Then Azmin because Azmin actually informed me when the FPL live. So I was like, oh my god, it's finally happened. And quickly I log in and try to register quickly because we want to have so-called the ID number that is a bit cantik. So-called you end up with 15830, man. Nice number. And for myself is 22234, so 5 digits. So well, at least better than 6 digits. So yep, I'm happy with that. All right. Okay, would like to welcome Zai Havertz. Come on, Arsenal. Yes, we will discuss about Arsenal players later. What's
Arsenal
the
is
present?
interesting, yes.
Yep. I know I am not well versed yet in terms of pricing this new FPL. I think Azmi also still then we can just walk through a bit some of the prices. But the most
Yep.
important things, I think the two things that we want to touch in this stream, let's take advantage of that is the changes that happen for the new season and also the changes in terms of player position. I think there's around 11 players that impacted before we run through the players list, so called, right, me? So maybe we just jump straight to that because
Yep, let's do that.
last year we did discuss offline that we had like four changes that
Yeah, not
happened for the last season. Not, but this year, wow, six changes. Whoever thought of that? But I think there's some significant one that we want to discuss a bit. The
yep.
six changes here. I think the first one that come out significantly is about the double chip. No more assistant manager chip for this year. Okay, some are happy with that. Some might not. Maybe Azmi have different feeling on that because he had enjoy or rewarded from this assistant or AM chip from last year. So we will miss that points this season. But FPL throw is another twist on the chips. We got now not four chips in a season, but eight chips in total. Double chips we call it. Four chips in the first beginning of the half season, game week 1 to 19, and then after that 28 to 38 for that. Maybe we just give first reaction to that, mean double chips, a significant one, and it could be a fun one. What do you think, man?
Well, I think Okay, so we had the AM chip last season as the extra chip. So now instead of giving us another chip or to replace the AM chip, they decided to just give another set of the same chips. And for me, I think it's a great idea. I love the idea. Okay, so during the off season, one of the suggestions how to make it better is that I read one person's tweet. I think Nick Triggerlips. He suggested that make the chips you can't make it so that you can't use chips during a double game week.
Mm.
So I felt that was very interesting because it evens out the playing field, forces people to really think about when to use them and not always gravitating for the double game weeks or the blank game weeks to use chips, and then they're forced to use it on a normal game week. So now with the double chips being what it is, and the fact that it's divided into the first half of the season and the second half of the season. So the first half of the season is inevitable that there will be chips that you end up using on a single game week, which is fine and which is great. And I
Yep.
think yeah, I think it does allow for more variety. And also at the end of the day, in terms of at least where the chips are concerned, it's simpler. As much as I did enjoy and benefit from the AM chip, I felt it was a tad too complicated for the game. So I'm glad that's over, and having the same chips easy, and in that sense, it's easy to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, a fair point. I think that's where the assignment can come, because we always the managers who really like planning, or season managers, they feel that this chip should be used according to the double game week and so on, the blank game week. But now we have opportunity to test this chip, especially in the single game week prior to that double game week that come up, especially in the second half of the season. I still remember last season, some people talk about triple captaining Harley on Salah in a single game week. This season, I think we will
We can do it.
experience that, and we also not sure what's the best strategy, which is really exciting because it can come to any variety of strategy. And there's already conversation about activating bench boost chip in game week one, which there's some pro and cons, but it depends on how you look at it. And this definitely will be the one big changes that can be a good one for this season. Double
The one
chips.
thing the one thing about the bench put game week one is that in the past couple of seasons, people are already trying it out because it's the one game week where you can just set your team and you can
Yep.
make sure that your whole 15 players are starting players. Well, to the best of your ability. There'll be some surprises as the man, because managers suddenly do a little tweak, but yeah, most of the time I've seen some where it does pay off. So this season, I think we might really want to consider that as well.
Yep, right. I also would like to welcome FPL Run Farm to the stream. Come on, Sunderland. He's supporting Sunderland while
Sunderland,
he's
good.
also
He's a Newcastle fan.
That's right. I'm surprised that. And also Brandon to the stream. I think
Brendan, thanks for joining,
let's take
guys.
a look in terms of the next talking points of the FPL changes. I think the defensive contribution, because that is something that also going to put more extra pool of players when talk about defensive contribution, and outfield players now can be rewarded in terms of their defensive contribution. There's a tweet in terms of what that defensive contribution can define is for any defenders who reaches a combined total of 10 CBIT call. What is CBIT? The clearance, the block, the intervention, and also tackle, if I'm right, in a single match, they will score a maximum of 2 FPI points. Like if let's say for a midfielder or forward, they have to have defensive contribution, but to add up on top of that is there will be one element, recoveries, so-called, to earn their FPI points. So there's how we can see this. Defender, especially at the centre back, now has more opportunity to get those points instead of the fullback who are more in terms of attacking points. But the midfielder and forwards maybe not so much. But the defensive midfielder now have some value. What do you think, in terms of these changes?
Yeah. So I get why they did this, because as you say, it was most of the time we were always weighing up to the um, defenders with attacking contributions. Fullbacks will the attacking fullback. Munoz, Trent Alexander-Arnold. We're always
Yeah.
looking to those players, right? So they want to make it more attractive for the other lesser known players who spends more time at the back. So for the defender sides, I think it's great, and for the midfield side, though, I felt that uh should it have been the same as forward? Maybe they can make it smaller. I don't know. Yeah, because I do feel defensive midfielders do play a big part. Um, Someone like Caicedo, for example, he does a lot of work for Chelsea, and playing at the defensive midfield side. So but we'll see. I know I think both of us haven't really done any analysis yet in terms of that, but if I don't mind pointing out to someone on Twitter who I'm following, which is Chewy FPL. So at Chewy FPL, he has taken these defensive contribution stats and applied it to some of the players from last season, some of our key players last season, and seeing what difference does it make. So you could check that out as well. And it's interesting because it does mean that some of the defenders who we don't care about previously, we might look to consider a bit more this time around. So I like that. It opens up the playing field even more.
Yeah, great stuff. I just want to add in because FA also give some example in terms of defensive contribution. If let's say this point has counted in 24-25, Tarkowski, who could easily got extra 44 points. So pretty much that's what the entice in terms of getting the Everton defender, and you can see later how much Tarkowski will cost this time around. So it's a big one whether you want to go there, but there's a potential if you're picking this kind of players. Centre back who could actually get clean sheet and then potentially get these 2 extra defensive contribution points, so called, and at the same time bonus point, if it's so. Yeah, maybe the likes of like Arsenal, boring defense centre back Gabriel and Saliba could get this extra point. So maybe we shall see that potential this season. I think we just stay open mind in terms of those potential points. Let's go to the next one. More assists. I think I like that because this fantasy assists sometimes can be really complicated. So FPL decided to simplify it, so, to recognize it, and it will be awarded following to these 2 criteria. As long as the goal scorer receive the ball inside the penalty box, and there is only 1 defensive touch before the ball reaches to the goal scorer. So I can imagine, just for myself, last season I miss out Mamush assist because somehow rather got defensive touch along the way, and they did not award it. So maybe that can be a great thing. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, so for this one, yeah, the defensive touch, meaning that even though a defender touches the ball, if he just like meladon per se, but it still hits the goalkeeper, then they just need to make sure there's 1 defensive touch and doesn't hit 2 defenders along the way. Yeah. But for me, the biggest difference is the receiving the ball inside the penalty box. I think that's quite a significant thing, because that means that any long range shots, like Trent Alexander-Arnold does, okay, I don't know why I keep talking TA. It's no longer
it's no longer there.
it's in my head. I'm so sorry. But yeah, but basically that does make a difference. So we aren't going to see any long range shots, are not going to get assists. So it's going to be very, very frustrating because as we see goals where then we don't get any assists. So I can imagine that, for the first goal, oh no, it's outside the box, no assist, that kind of thing. So that would be a problem. But otherwise, I'm fine. Keep it simple, and that's it. I guess the only thing is, does that mean I haven't? Yeah, I have to admit I've been following up any discussions, but does that mean the penalties will not have any assists? I don't know. Or only if but it would be because it considered receive the ball inside the penalty box.
I think it still applies, not changes. But if they say anyone or there, then you can just mention whether we are right or not. So I think if we just go to the fourth changes, I mean, these, they are a bit controversial. Some people doesn't feel that it should be change for this season. The extra transfer before the AFCON tournament will be live. This is something that we are aware. The AFCON tournament will happen this season, and all the African players, the likes of Mo Salah, who else, Nicholas Jackson, Kudus, will involve in this competition. There will be a way, maybe around 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how their country advance into this tournament. Normally, it will happen in January, but this season will happen in December. So what happened? The FPL managers will be given extra transfers in game week 16 prior to this AFCON starts. Okay, and the total number of free transfer that will be top up is maximum possible is 5. So means in the situation, let's say you had a 2 transfer, then you decided not to use it, so they just top up another 3 to just make it 5 back. So that's how it works. And the first thought is the season managers or the expert feels that should not be an option, because then what's it defeat the purpose of planning, right? So there's some mixed reaction to this. I'm still neutral on this. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I think it's useless. I mean, it's not really that big a deal. We've managed it pretty well before, unless, are you saying you're gonna end up with the likes of Salah, Mbeumo, like a whole 5 or 6 AFCON players, and then you're gonna have to sell them all, or even to bring it in as well. So for me, it doesn't need to be. It's not necessary, but it is what it is. I don't know if they're gonna change. Will they still change it before the game starts? I don't think so. I
I
think
don't
they
think
already
so.
set
I
on
don't
that.
think so. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So it just means that we get to use all that. We just make sure we use all our transfers before game week 16. And let's not forget, still you add that to 2 wild cards during the season. It's
Hmm.
already overkill a bit to me. Yeah.
All right, we just embrace it. We just take advantage of that. Okay, how it's
It's
going to play, I'm not too sure. There's some already strategy. I read it somewhere that you can just use your transfer prior to that and bench boost or something like that. So I never really give a thought of that, but that can be a strategy. Fifth one is changes to bonus point, a tweak a bit. We already know last season they already do some changes to BPS point. This season they make a tweak in terms of goalkeeper save, 3 bonus point inside box, 2 BPS outside the box, those kind of thing. Goal line clearance, we have more BPS, 9 now instead of 3, right? I think that would be great, for especially for the defender or whoever player doing that. Penalty goals, to have BPS across all position, because last time they awarded more to forward, less to defend, but now they standardize all regardless of position. Okay, and then successful tackles, do 2 BPS for each tackle won. They kind of simplify it. So nothing much there, but I'm not sure. What do you think, mean?
um yeah, I mean last season they also had some tweaks to some of the bonus point systems. I think the goal line clearance, I feel it's a good thing. I like the goal line clearance, having that extra, because I thought goal line clearance is so important. I mean, for people who have the guy who could have scored if not for the goal line clearance, it's very, very frustrating. And because of that emotions, I feel that is very valuable. So it should be
All right,
rewarded, those goal line clearances. Yeah.
all right.
Penalty goals, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but I think the biggest change from 9 BPS instead of 3 BPS is times 3. I think it can make a significant difference for defenders. And yeah, and most of the time the goal line clearance are usually, well, typically by defenders or midfielders. So it does increase the value of defenders as well. Yeah.
All right, great stuff. And last but not least, Min, to our ni, because this one maybe ramai yang kau terlepas pandang on this. The qualifying for global leagues, 2 new leagues introduced, top 1% finish and 10% finish, and they will give incredible prizes for winning each of the leagues. Okay, something that is different. But interestingly, Azmin finished in the top 1% finish, which is around inside 100,000. And for myself, luckily finished within that 1 million bracket. So I'll be in that top 10% finish. I will fighting all those players who in that bracket. So yeah, it's just a nice thing to do, right? But it's nothing significant.
Yeah, nothing significant, but I'm just glad that the first time they introduced it, I'm at the 1%, which is
Yeah.
out of the past 10 seasons, maybe I've only done it once, and this is the second time I've done it. So very very happy, and yeah, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I think this the importance of it. Sometimes people don't think so much because 1% finish out of the 11 million managers last season. So it's an achievement in some ways. So despite people say that 10,000 finishing 10,000, 50,000, 20,000 in 1,000 is really matters, but 1% finish is still good in
I,
terms
th-
of
I
performance.
think
So
I think it's just fantastic because previously we always people just aiming for best
mm,
finish, best
mm,
finish,
mm, mm,
and or either that or win the whole league. But
mm,
now if
mm,
you get to the top 1% finish, you rewarded. So the motivation will continue to be there, 1% or 10%. And I like the fact that they did it two tier, because there may be some at the
mm.
30th week, no chance of getting 1%, but you can still get into the 10%. So
Yeah.
so the I feel that the idea behind this is to ensure that managers are
Mm,
motivated to remain active,
motivated. Yeah.
and that's only good for the game.
Right. I like that. So these changes that happen this season, whether you like it or not, embrace it. This is going to happen. So let's go to the next one. Min, the FPL position changes happens. 11 players. I think we just point out the 11 players. There are some significant one. I think we go from the top until bottom. Luis Kelly, Arsenal defense. Yes, we understand this is what it should be from midfield to defense now. So he has, I think this one the potential. And then Luis Potter, Brentford, midfielder to defense. Okay, because he's playing for Aaron Hickey, right, for Brentford defense left back who has been missed out last season. Ndeyi now is classified as midfielder, no more forward. Okay, Sexenion, Fulham defender to a midfielder now. Is it good or bad? I think it's bad because if let's say it defense, it has potential attacking and also clean sheet. Gakpo forward to midfield, more points for Gakpo. Mamush also the same situation to midfield. So he will not fight with the Haaland in terms up front when picking whether Haaland or Mamush. Now Mamush moves to midfield and he has to fight the likes of Foden and Savion, those kind of players. Nunes, I think this is an interesting one. I also eyeing this whether this is possible. He's now been rated as a defender in the game. Later we touch on the price because he's slightly cheaper than Nori and Guardio. So that could be an option. Rayleigh also moved to defense, but with Nori coming in, not sure whether he will got some game time. Chunya forward to midfield. I think Azmin likes this, right? And it's one of the potential players gonna come in with it. Bowen midfield to forward, maybe this not so much because going to forward they'll be missing in terms of points, getting those goals and also potential clean sheet. And Rodrigo Gomez midfield to defend not so much. So significant one, Nunes, Cunha, Bowen, maybe Mamush and Gakpo. What do you think, mate?
Yeah. Um, Gakpo is be interesting to see given the reinforcements that Liverpool have brought in, and of course, just spare a moment to mention Jota, who unfortunately
Yeah.
passed away in an accident. But coming back to FPL, it will be interesting to see how Arne Slot has Gakpo plays, and also even Darwin Nunes, whether he's still around, subject to transfers, but at the moment he's still with the team. It's very so. Then you have Marmoush, Nunes, and O'Reilly, all from Manchester City. But we know that last season Manchester City shuffled around quite a bit because of the problems they were having. And coming back to Nunes just now, the Nunes went into defense because he had to find a way to plug it up. And Nunes didn't come in to play the defense. He came in as a midfielder. So whether or not this will be permanent, for all you know, Nunes might. I predict that Nunes will end up playing in midfield, which will make him a great pick, assuming, of course, he manages to lock in a starting point. Yeah,
Yeah,
and let's forget
yeah.
about O'Reilly until we know a bit more. Um, Cunha for me, I love it. I'm love it, and I have to say that there's still a lot of criticism as the Manchester United. They're so slow, but they finally did get Mbeumo.
Yeah.
And it's now the question is, will the team improve? And I do feel it will. And I think Cunha will be the guy who will drag Manchester United kicking and screaming into back into the top league, and but of course the risk is there lah, in terms of his volatility. Hopefully Amorim can rein him in. But to be fair, at the forward position, it was always a challenge. But at midfield, oh, it's just so attractive. And Cunha is the one who can make things happen. Um, and at midfield spot, it makes it easier to slot him. And just to point, Mbeumo, for example, he goes quiet. He can go quiet during a game, whereas Cunha is the game changer most of the time. So Bowen is the most disappointing, and I subscribe to this theory that West Ham just have no forwards who are good enough or playable, that FPL took pity and okay, let's make Bowen a forward just just to make it look West Ham have a decent, attractive forward. And because seriously, West Ham have not had a good forward for quite a while now. It's been ages, and that the who's the guy who's just getting older and older, and he still ends up having game
Not
time.
Antonio lah. Antonio.
Yeah, Antonio, exactly. And then Ings, of course, he's no longer with the club.
Yep.
And then that guy, full crook,
Full
he's
crowd.
definitely he hasn't adapted to the league. So yeah, but Bowen definitely going out of not being so attractive anymore. So
All right, great. I think we already ran through the position. We shall see whether, I think another point is, let's say you decide later that in terms of Arsenal defense, because the Gabriel Saliba maybe on the higher end and Skelly at 5.5. So maybe that
yeah,
could
but
be an
Skelly,
option.
if he nails down a place, he could be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we know already the big hitter, Mohamed Salah and Haaland. Finally, the teka-teki ends. Salah at 14.5 million and Haaland at 14, dropping from 15. So Haaland get a price hike from 12.5 to 14.5, if I'm right. 2 million up. Is this justified, man?
I actually thought Salah might be a bit higher. Last season, Haaland was 16, right? Or was it 15?
15, 15.
Okay, yeah. So I thought Salah would go up to the price Haaland was, because he was so there last season. It was insane. It's just that, but maybe because he slowed down a bit towards the end of the season, so that's why they had to knock off 0.5. Haaland, I'm surprised. I actually thought that his price would be lower than that, because he didn't do well. You remember that time when Marmoush scored a hat trick? He didn't do much there either. So I don't like that pricing, but I guess they priced that in the theory that if he suddenly does perform, it shouldn't be so easy to have both Salah and Haaland given his history.
Right. So this can be a question mark whether we should have both or one of them, right? So I think last season we tried to fit both. Maybe this season won't be, and I think most likely people will get Salah instead of Haaland at the very beginning, but we shall see. I just want to talk about the other premium so-called, because not so much premium this season. I can see that the most is 14.5, then Haaland 14, then tie up at 10.5 million is Palmer and Isaac. So Isaac forward, Palmer in midfield. Slightly lower, 0.5 is Saka. End up at 10 million. Last season I forgot his price.
Same. It should be the same, I think.
Same. I think same.
Yeah.
Watkins,
same.
9 million. Okay. Bruno Fernandes got hike from 8 million or 8.5 now to 9. So that could be a surprise one. So I'm not sure whether there's a. I think this one, Florian Wirtz, is what people are talking about, the most expensive player right now in terms of transfer fee. Uh, 8.5. People are saying it's too cheap. Hmm. So what do you think, Min?
Well, okay.
Your new player.
Last in, first out. Words. Yeah, you could argue that it's too cheap given his contributions in another league. But then you come to the Premier League, I can see why in the end FPL still wants to be a bit cautious when pricing and not just assume that he's gonna blow up. So I think 8.5 is a fair pricing. Yeah,
Okay.
because we still have to wait to see whether how he does. And yeah, I know that Arne Slot came in first season in, wins the league, but he's betting in quite a few new players this season. Everyone from Kirkes, Words, Frimpong. Yeah, so it's a work in progress. So at 8.5, I think it's fine. I do want to touch Isaac. I think it's definitely should be at the top there. 10.5 might even be a bit underpriced. I think something like 11 would be better. And at the same, Saka fine, Watkins fine. Palmer for me, he should have been priced lower. You know, he just hasn't showed much. And just we can't say because of the last Club World Cup game where he scores 2 goals.
I think that could influence that pricing. Could
Was
be.
that thinking? So everyone think the old Palmer is back because of one game. It's just I don't agree at all with the Palmer. I think it should be slightly cheaper, like 9.
Right. So these are the players young people trying to fit in. I think the last time we have more premium, if I can say, but now it's end up with this. And then yeah, so this is the players at the top of the chain for this season. Salah, Haaland, then Palmer tied up with, I said, 10.5, then Saka, and the rest after that is lower than 10 million. All right, so I think this is the list that I have. Maybe we can just run through a bit main from the website itself, because I don't have any other snapshot in
Sure,
terms of
sure, yeah. You want to share screen?
player. Yep.
I think, yeah, and the the other change that wasn't in the list, but we can just mention briefly
Mm,
is
mm,
the
mm, mm.
is the whole interface. It's so different this season. You remember last season there
Okay.
was a bit of
Yep.
a tweak
Yep.
to the interface. So this year it's okay. To be fair, it's only been a couple hours to get used to it. but but yeah, I think the scheme things, and at the end they I have to admit, when it comes to doing my team, I still do it from my phone. So I,
Okay.
so
Yep.
I
Yep. Agree.
I haven't
Agree.
yet seen how it looks on the phone. But for the interface on the website, I think it's fine. I think we just have to get used to it. It's normal, and I think it's good that they need to freshen it up a bit and
Okay.
not maintain
Right.
the same
Right.
thing. Are you having problems sharing?
Okay. Just give a sec. Oh, share screen. It is my thing.
So meanwhile, Raka FPL are still wondering whether a Salah, Woods, and Kirkers triple up could actually be a thing. Um, it's risky, but it's definitely doable. Okay, here we are.
You can see, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can see the screen.
So this is sort out by total point. You can see there's a new layout. You have to sort it by round points price on the right hand side, normally at the center. So we just go for the your price. Maybe we should go by position. Just a quick one in terms of goalkeeper. Who's the on the top in terms of pricing? There is no 6 million keeper but all are more 5.5 million. We know about Raya. Pickford now at 5.5 million. Ellison at 5.5, no spread, and Edison. And the rest is at 5 million. I'm surprised, at 5.5, 20% already pick Pickford as their keeper. So
Um,
Pickford, yeah.
I guess with Pickford, it's just that track record is so strong, and in the end he still performed despite the rest of the team flunking. So
Okay.
so, and I think FPL realized that, and they decided to price him higher. I think it was 5.0 last season.
Yes,
So
yes,
given
yes.
that it's for Everton, who's not exactly the best team in the world, but he's still priced higher, it just makes sense FPL wise.
Yeah,
Sure, in
yeah.
terms of Premier League terms, Everton was down in the dumps, but FPL wise, I think he deserves to be up there at 5.5.
If you can see there, he's the highest top scorer in terms of goalkeeper at 158 and
Yeah.
prior season. So it's back to back top scorer
Yes,
for keeper.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Then we just go further down. Martinez 5 million. Trafford at 5 million. Burnley, because maybe they suspect that Trafford gonna move somewhere, right? So that's why they
Yeah.
rate at 5 million. So I'm surprised that this is a promoted side. Sanchez at 5 million. So Henderson, Leno still 5 million. Ah, okay, fine. And I think Onana at 5 million, no surprise, but we just go who else?
Cells.
Pope at 5 million, Sales at 5 million,
Yeah.
4.5 already rise today. Vicario at 5 million, still there. I think this the 4.5 that you trying to get. Who's the keeper, right? Neto
I
and Petrovic.
I I,
Oh,
I
yeah.
am wondering about Kepa, him deciding
Mm,
to move to Arsenal.
yeah.
Is there a chance he could displace, um
I don't think so.
no, you think so? Yeah,
I don't
but
think so.
why would he want to move to Arsenal? But then he has the ego in him, wants to be in a bigger team.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
opportunity to play in Champions League, you just never know, right?
yeah. So yeah, correct. So Kelleher is the one that I'm wanting.
Ah, I like
Yeah.
that.
So but of course the thing with Brentford, they have a new manager, so it'll be
Hmm.
interesting to see. But Kelleher, I'm sure he does nail that
Yeah.
first goalkeeper spot easily. But
Yeah.
if Bradford can put up good numbers like last season, then yeah, I
Hmm.
think Kelleher might be a decent pick.
Yeah. So option 4.5 million, Bournemouth keeper, whether Neto or Petrovic, Kelleher 4.5. The Brighton keeper still at 4.5 million, whether Berger and Steele, which is nice. Areola, 4.5 million. I think Wolves keeper Johnston or Jose Sa still at
Sasa,
4.5 million, right? And after that is 4 million, which people might not pick, or you're trying to find the gem within this 4 million, right?
I think Sa could be a gem. I think under Pereira, Wolves are going to continue to improve and shore up the defense from the start of the season. We saw how much defensively they got better after
Mhm.
Pereira came in, and generally overall the stats improve. So Sa could be one to watch for me.
Right. That's for the goalkeeper. Let's jump to the defense. We shall see whether rumors there is defender at 6.5 million, but I can say the maximum that we can get in terms of first page is max is 6 million, but there is more 6 million defender right now. I mean, we can see there
Yep.
Gabriel and Saliba still maintain. Cucurella now at 6 million. Same goes for Frimpong,
Yes.
Kirkers, Robinson, and Virgil van Dijk. I think we are predicting 5.5. They simply slam it to 6 million defender plus Atnori and Guardiola at 6 million bracket. So maybe we just give first comment on this.
Which one?
I think if you want to pick any Liverpool defenders, you
Yeah,
end up
I'm
you need to pick 6 million.
Yeah, I felt like Robertson as 6.0 is a bit of a push because he didn't do really well, and maybe it's just because he was part of the winning team, so you push him at 6. Kerkez at 6, fine. Yeah, I think he deserves it. Frimpong at 6 was wow. They really picking it harder. So if you look at
Yep.
it, that's four um four players, four
I
Liverpool
think
players at
Konate is cheaper, lah, right? It's not in this bracket. That's all.
Yeah, the question with Konate, is he staying? So the question is still out with Real Madrid trying to price him away. Then Al Nuri got jumped up to 6. Sure, why not? He's playing for City. And then
Oh
Guardiola.
man,
Guardiola was at 5.5, right, last season?
no,
I thought
he's at 6.
he was already at 6. Okay, fine. Sorry, my bad. So a lot of 6.0 season. Of course, no one above that because TA dah tak ada and no one has the same impact. Yeah, 7, ridiculous. 7.5. But I think it's good. I think
Is
for
it
Liverpool,
too much in terms of pricing this defender, or you think it's fair?
I think it's fair, except for
Okay.
Robertson. But At the end of the day, I don't think Robertson is going to be your first choice anyway. Yeah. So the question is, which of the more attacking between Frimpong and Kirkes is going to be? So most likely we'll see teams in both players in managers' teams until they can figure it out. Of course, the last game of the preseason might give us a good idea as to who's more attacking. So, but yeah, and then Gabriel and Saliba. Of course, Arsenal. I think their first opening matches isn't that great, but someone like Gabriel, a goal scoring defender, is still great. But at the same time, when you look at these defenders, we now have to take into account the new defensive points that
Defensive
they can.
contribution. Okay.
Yeah, so you're attacking. So maybe Virgil might end up being the better option. Yeah, and then he could still be a goal threat, but yeah, could be. And between Gabriel Saliba last season, it was 75% of us went for Gabriel and only a few went for Saliba. So Saliba might end up being the better option.
Yep. I think we just need to keep that open mind. So just slightly below, if you do not have, you want to just get Arsenal defense at a cheaper rate, you can go Calafiori, Timber, Lewis Kelly at 5 million, and even Ben White. Wow. So if you think these are the players that can lock in terms of the defense, this could be a potential at 5 million, lesser 0.5 million. Then James at 5.5, Munoz 5.5. This is what we predict. Brentford and Tarkowski at 5.5 million. It's too much, right?
They pumped up Everton defenders. So, yeah, it does feel like overkill, but then just behind that, Konate at 5.5, which I think is about right. Akanji and Ake, should they be in 5.5? I don't think so, because Manchester City's defense wasn't that great, although they did recover towards the end of the season. Then, so Matheus Nunes, we talked about Nunes.
So if let's say you don't want to invest the Anori or Guardiola at 6 million, 5.5 Nunes could be a potential. This is what I'm eyeing, but we shall see in terms of preseason. Ruben Dias still maintain at 5.5.
I want to point out their Hall at 5.5. He's no longer gonna be a nice filler to have. Now it's a serious to have him or not to have him. It's no longer something you can just buy and forget about him anymore.
So you can see that 5.5 million and Shah at 5.5 million. I'm not sure about Trippier, and also Livramento will be slightly cheaper.
Yeah, Trippier was 6 right last season, so definitely drop. Pedro Perro is about the same.
And another one, the Nottingham Forest defense. I mean, jump up to 5.5 million now. No more 4.5.
Yeah, well, given Forest defense was one of the best last season, so it does make sense. So maybe we can see if Neto Williams went up price or stayed the same, and might want to consider that.
Nico Williams at 5. Aina also at 5. So interesting. Aina.
I'll definitely consider, unless you go for the keeper cells as well. It's also
Trippier sudah turun 5 million. Livramento at 5, Burn at 5, Corner at 5.
Nothing really interesting up there, despite them being expensive.
This Manchester United defense at 5 million. I don't think people will go there.
Michaelenko also 5.
Wow, no more 4.5. Oh, Robinson 5 million. Fulham defender. That's also my favorite player last season. Same like you, I mean. What else? Okay, Zabani at 5. Right? Collins at 5. No more 4.5. I think this could be a potential if you cannot afford Cucurella and you decided want any defense. Sanchez at 5 million, same. Goes for Kovic, Gusto, or Chaloba. Maybe Kovic if you're interested.
I don't know how long Zabani is going to be around as well. Bournemouth's defense looked like they got slaughtered during the transfer season, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Romero now at 5 million, and then after that 4.5 million bracket. If you're looking at any Aston Villa defense, 4.5 million cash, and the likes of Konza, I suppose. Digny, I mean, 4.5. if
No.
you're interested.
Can you, for the love of God, can you stop me when I start talking about bringing in Dinya? Please, please, please. I don't know why every single year there's one week where I felt like, oh, might be a good option, and then he just screws me over. So please remind me. If you guys are watching, also please remind me that not to bring
Carl
in Dinya.
Walker at 4.5. He's now at Burnley if you're interested. Not
Okay.
4.0, so 4.5.
Brandon mentioned Konate will run down his contract, then join RM for free. So that means we get him for another season.
Ah, fair
I mean,
lah, fair
losing
lah.
two of our defenders to Real Madrid in the same season feels a bit
Okay.
too hard for us.
All right. I think this is the defense. We can run through on your own, but we just want to look at the overview first. Defense. Let's go to the midfield. All right. The
Yep.
midfield is the crunch that people are looking at.
Yep.
Ooh, let me go. Let me go to the first page. Shot. All right. The top, Salah, Palmer, Saka, Bruno. I think the surprise one, 9 million. Words were retouched. Mamouche, 8.7. Who else? Odegaard at 8 million. At the same price. And Bomo have a price hike from 7 million, if I'm right, to 8
Yep.
million now. Luis Diaz, man, 8 million over Words. What do you think?
Yeah, at 0.5, you think that Woods is gonna, with the price they brought Woods in for, you just spend an extra 0.5 by bringing Woods instead of Diaz. Diaz, of course, there's still rumors. There's still in the news about him
Mm.
selling, but of course, Liverpool has told whoever's interested that they're not interested in selling him. But these could all just be posturing. We never know what happens there.
Okay.
But at the moment, I wouldn't consider Diaz until we get further information.
All right. Foden at 8 million. Okay. Cunha 8 million means, so if you want to buy him, is 8 million guy.
Yeah.
Eze. So Eze, I think 7 million last season. So now 7.5. So Eze is still at Crystal Palace, but if they say there's rumors he moved to Arsenal, then he'll be 7.5 million midfield for Arsenal. But for now, Crystal
Crazy. He
Palace.
can't move to Arsenal. Gosh.
Gakpo 7.5. Last season 7, if I'm right. Gordon at 7.5 million. Gibbs White 7.5 from 6.5 last season. Maduke Martinelli Trossard price at same. Morgan Rogers, me.
Rogers.
Is it
So
5.5 last season or 5
he
million?
was he was 5. He was 5. I had him from the
Oh,
start of the season, so he was 5. So
so
this
2
is
million
very
high.
frustrating. He will be a force to be reckoned with this season again. I think he's definitely going to be influential. So I think 7.0 does make sense.
All right.
For
He's already has 22% ownership. Clivert Semenyo, same price at 7.
Clivert jumping up. I think it was
Yeah,
5.5 last season. So
yeah. Same
yeah,
like Semenyo, right?
Semenyo was 6, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
So
all right. Okay.
but still jumps given how well they did relatively.
Yeah.
Shade was definitely at 5.5.
Ooh,
Uh, he didn't. He took a more active role as the season went on, so I can see him going up there. It makes sense.
okay. You have Neto at 1.7 million now. If you cannot afford Palmer and you want to go somewhere in midfield, maybe Neto. Savinho 7, Rashford will leave to
Rashford.
Barcelona. Elanga 7 million, man. It's a bit expensive, right?
Well, he did just join new team Newcastle, but yeah, it is for me. It's just too expensive, and it'd be interesting to see, how, because previously we had Jacob Murphy and
Hmm.
Gordon and Barnes, and then you have now Elanga coming in, and just all these three players are still there. So yeah, well, I wouldn't recommend picking Elanga at this point.
Right. Spurs an exciting one because we are not sure how Thomas Frank will fill out this lineup. But Johnson and Madison at 7 million. There's potential there.
I
I'm
I
not
hope Johnson continues to play. Frank uses Johnson the same way because Johnson is a goal scorer. He pops out at the right time. He's got the timing for it. But 7.0, I think is still quite decent.
Yeah,
And
Sun
but
at
but
8 points. Yeah.
the only thing is that they are also in the Champions League, so
Hmm.
expectation issues.
8.57 million. So I'm looking at where's Kudus. So I'm not sure Kudus where. There's somewhere there. Kudus at 6.5. Who knows, right?
Yeah. So about Rashford, so apparently he's just passed the medical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. past medical today. So yeah,
Okay.
he might get there.
Mitoma
Crazy.
6.5, Enzo price hike 6.5. I'm not sure with this. Sa also ada price hike 6.5. Iwobi. Okay, so Boslai 6.5. I'm not sure whether he's gonna start now, right, man? I'm not sure because
Yeah,
around.
I feel that the thing is because someone like Zoboslai was really crucial for us because he was such a hard worker and then he popped up to score goals. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with the Woods will operate in the place of Zoboslai as Zoboslai goes further back because we have some good midfielders.
Yeah.
McAllister is great as well, Gravenbach, can't fault him
Mm.
either. So
Yep.
I
You
want to
still have
see
like
how
Curtis Jones, Harvey
does.
Elliott around. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, those are the Man City midfielder 6.5 inches. Ahmad 6.5 dulu berapa? 5 or 5.5, right? So that's ini.
Yeah.
Okay. Barnes, Kudus, yeah. Tielemans at 6 million. If you don't want to go Morgan Rogers, is something that I'm also looking at if there's potential. Any Brighton midfielder? Yep. Okay, nothing much there, right?
No, not really.
Okay,
Nothing really.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about Kuku. Smith Rowe at 6 million, maybe.
That's too expensive for at this point. Nah. Last time it was at 5 or 5.5, so we
Okay.
could still consider it.
Right. Let's just walk through the last one forwards. Okay, who are on top we already know, which is Highland for 14.5. But who else? Highland, I said Watkins 9 million, the Bowen 8 million. This top 4. Then Harvard 7.5. Tak ingat berapa price dia. Visa got hike definitely 7.5. Same for Joe Pedro Nahua
Pedro,
close to
naik,
70. Mateta same price good. Wood
slightly
definitely
high.
high.
Wood high.
Would you buy now Wood at 7.5?
If he continues the same vein, why not? We can make space for him. So, Che, I thought like as if I had Wood so much last season. I had him for a few weeks or something. So,
Right.
but
7.5
anything.
interesting. We got like 5 players option here. Or 6. Or 6.
Oh, Evan
So
Nelson
ranking.
is up by 1 million.
7 million. Yep. Interesting. Jesus not so much. Welbeck 6.5. I forgot what's the price. Delap Jackson turun harga. Delap Joe Pedro. Okay, now. Raul naik harga, right? 6.5. So no cheapies there, but Muniz is slightly lower. I can sense that. Yep, he's not here. Darwin Hodgson 6.5, Richardson, Strand Larsen naik harga 6.5.
Yeah, so Strand Larsen, in the absence of Cunha, could Strand Larsen be the player to go for Wolves as a cheap forward option that plays? So it depends. I'm not sure with the. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Everton new striker, right? Perry against I think Beto at 5.5 million. I just go to the next page. Yeah, Muniz at 5.5. I think Raul Jimenez is going to start, right? So Muniz will be benched.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Jimenez is getting older and older, and
okay.
yeah, he isn't able to play 90 minutes.
Okay, I think that's all good. Down there, 5 million, no interest. Bamford has Daniel Fuck did mention Bamford is not in his in his thought. Yeah. So no option there. Yep.
Yeah,
I think that's
we need to look at at some point we'll maybe in another stream in terms of those promoted teams, because that's where we're going to draw in from. We're going to pick up the likes of Haaland, Salah, Bruno Fernandes in our team. So, but we can cover that another time, I guess.
all right. I think just nice 1 hour mark. We can just finish our FPS live. I think it's good to be back, but there's still like 25 days away before the season starts, right?
It's still a while away, but just like us, I think there are at least other content creators also streaming right now.
Okay, all right.
Offering the views as well. Right now, we just make sure the interface doesn't screw us over, and all the changes are good, and there's no system issues with official FPL, because there's so many changes. So
Yep.
hope for the best, and looking forward. Let's start planning the season.
All right. Thank you all for joining the session. Thank you for watching. Until the next time, and we shall see you again. Take care and bye bye from us, FPL Jedi Show.